It's been almost 4 years since LG V20 was launched. Despite the fact that it is one of the most underrated phones ever, there are still many people who would say that it is one of their favorite daily driver of all times. So in this video, we are going to see whether LG V20 could be a better deal in comparison with similarly priced phones, or should you stay away from buying it. So without wasting any time, let's get started. Let's talk about the design of this thing first. I think this is one of the unique designs in the smartphone world, as it has a weird kind of cutout to have a room for a second display. And also, the thick dual tone top and bottom chins makes it stand out between all of the other smartphone designs. Unlike other phones, the bezels of LG V20, despite its thickness, merges into the phone's display. So when you apply dark wallpapers, it will make it very premium and stylish. LG V20 has a removable back, which makes it a long-term use device, as you can easily put a new battery when the old one is damaged. It has a 3200 mAh battery, which lasts for a day easily on normal usage. However, the maximum screen on time you get is around 4 to 5 hours. The weight of the phone is well distributed, and the aluminum back does make it feel premium in hands. Look, you can buy a mid-range phone at the same price as this old flagship from LG, but in most cases, this flagship, which is quite old now, is going to perform better. It is because companies put a lot of efforts into making flagship devices. They put the best hardware of that time in it. Due to this reason, it performs better than most of the low-end phones even years later. See, LG V20 has got 4GB of RAM, 64GB of internal storage, Snapdragon 820 processor, and a Quad HD display, which most of the budget or mid-range segment phones doesn't even offer in the price range of $150 or $200. On the bright side, you get a Quad HD display on which videos are dream to watch. The display is reasonably vivid and sharp. The viewing angles are also very amazing, and there are no genuine complaints about its display. There is also a secondary display which will show you notification and quick toggles when your screen is turned off. For some people, it might be a very useful feature, as you can easily access your recent apps or commonly used apps, etc. With LG V20, you also get to see Hi-Fi Quad DAC, which improves the sound quality coming out of its headphone jack. This feature also enables to use heavy-duty headphones with it, which is a very great feature in my opinion. And as far as I know, LG is the only company which put Hi-Fi Quad DAC in their phones. In the camera department, on the back it has got dual cameras. One of which is 16 megapixels with an aperture of f1.8, which does has optical image stabilization, while the other one is 8 megapixels ultra-wide lens with an aperture of f2.4. Due to the f1.8 aperture of the main camera, LG V20 takes some decent shots in low light as well. And the background blur also feels quite natural and pleasant to look at. To be honest, the stock camera app doesn't take much benefit out of these sensors. However, the manual video mode is great to have. I have found this mode very useful while shooting in low light or when you want to have full control over the video quality. The 8 megapixels wide-angle lens takes good photos, but generally it comes out to be soft and with a fisheye effect as well. So for shooting photos, I would suggest to use Gcam, because I have found that using Gcam you can get a way better photos with great dynamic range compared to the stock camera app. And I am sure that you might fall in love with the pictures coming out of it. Also, I have got a video on the most stable Gcam for LG V20, so if you want to install it, then click on the I button popping up above. LG V20 also has a laser autofocus module, which makes it very fast to focus on subjects. However, on the front side, the selfie camera is of 5 megapixels whose quality is not very impressive. On the rear side, you can see a fingerprint sensor which also doubles as the power button. Personally, I really like this concept, as you can easily lock and unlock your phone through a single button. The position of the power button is also very nice, and you won't even have to find it, as your finger might always be naturally sitting on it. And the speed of the fingerprint sensor is also very respectable. On the right side of the phone, you can see a button which is used to open the back cover. However, on the left side, you get a volume up and volume down keys. And on the top of the phone, you get an IR sensor as well as a secondary mic. And on the bottom, you can see a 3.5mm headphone jack powered by Hi-Fi Quad DAC, a microphone, USB Type-C jack, and a single firing speaker. The sound quality of this speaker is average, however, it's loud enough to be heard from a distance. Now coming towards the charging side, on the charging side, LG V20 supports 18 watts of fast charging, which charges this 3200 mAh battery reasonably fast. Now, there is a lot to complain about the way LG presents its UI, but if you do a little bit of tuning, then you might eventually start to like it. LG has packed a lot of customization options into its settings. However, most of the LG V20 models are still running on the Android 7 or Android 8, but the Korean models are the only ones to have got the Android 9 Pie update as well. And to be honest, if your model is supported to get Android 9 Pie, then you should upgrade it immediately, as it will make your phone feel as fresh as new. On LG V20, you get a lot of features both for home and lock screens. Some of my favorites are contrast mode, smart doctor, dual apps, knock on, and power saving mode, which works really well. Also, I really appreciate the tons of other customization options which LG has packed into this device. So in the end, I would suggest if you really want a high-end phone for a low price, then it is still a good time to buy LG V20 or LG G6. However, I would recommend to search for Korean models because you will be able to run Android 9 Pie on them as well. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thanks for watching and I will see you on the next one.